Massive.
Mbona ni nyinyi na wawashi mkikula nyama choma tufirifiri na tosta.
Tuning into the Black Hot Fire Radio, and you're listening to the African Diary Show with Tati. Massive.
Mbona ni nyinyi na wawashi mkikula choma tufirifiri na taska. Rametuma hapo kazini anaisaka. Hata najua bibi yake anafanya nini Naivasha. Woi.
Akisikena kuna konje na shika dunge chengani so nazidunga zote nataka mwage ndani
nina mwaga kwa matope tukitaka ganji itoke
normalisha mbeteng mamoli kwa Henneken when I meet you my friend we got rich in the lens tulimtupa kwa boots tulimtrace na magan kama mimi tuko luzu lizesta falling down sini mabagla for sure
na hisi siri
bala klabo wezinjwa kwa CCTV
Run kimwambia husky na yesi kiziwi navaa kwenda nani sahi street Buksa Kawasaki njege masanse hawatutaki ka unitambui askari wa mkizi Maro What's about this?
How about Gen Z? How about that? What about PCCB?
How about Gen Z? How about it? Nani sahi street Buksa Kawasaki njege masanse hawatutaki ka unitambui sikutambui tuna drip and tumekuwa maplamba labda kuisikia ama kusikia na nangi wapa
mili yangu ya kwanza nilishikanga nikirap go wax chunda bees wale shoshi moja ya pili ya platinum na go holy masoja matrup na makrup
unang'aa
ulidaya tuna kitu na una makali na graph yetu ina improve
speed front Kawasaki nikikam through
kama lightning tukijump nikustrike tu kudigi Brazil ndo kitu si udu kuna bahari navaa kwenda ndani zaidi speed flanish Buksa Kawasaki njege masanse
hawatutaki ka unitambui Kona ngam nama waps kona ngam nama
tuning into the Black Hot Fire Radio, and you're listening to the African Diary Show with Tati. Greetings and salutations, Master Keys and Robins, all the way in Switzerland. And you're tuning into the Black House Fire Radio. And you're listening to the African Diary Show with Kachi.
Yes, wagwang my people. Okay, niko na udaku kumbe. I'm sorry about that, but wagwang my people, karibuni sana to another episode of the African Diary Show. I hope you're doing well. I hope this amazing Thursday is finding you at great health and peace as well. Karibuni sana once again. It is exactly 1 minute past 3 p.m. right here in the 254. You can as well let me know what is the time on your end. We are at 23 degrees Celsius right here in Nairobi. Let me know how is the weather on your side as well. Karibuni sana. And on today's episode, we shall be talking about or rather, we shall be exposing some sad truth about the Maumau and the betrayer of the Maumau. And we all know who is the betrayer, or rather, who got to betray the Maumau fighters. But rather than that, we shall be also getting to see what is happening with the African countries, what is popping in Zimbabwe. I've seen Zimbabweans are selling their crocodiles to reduce. They say that they are reducing conflict, and now they are saying that they are selling crocodiles to reduce conflict between wildlife and humans. But anyway, it doesn't make sense for me, but we shall get to look into that as we get to continue with our show for today. So in case you're there joining us for the first time, please make sure you subscribe to my channel, be it you are joining me on YouTube, on Facebook, or on Twitter. We also have those who are listening to me via Rumble. Yes, we are also live and interactive on Rumble. You can as well get to share your thoughts on the same, or rather get to interact with me on Rumble. To all those who are with me on the radio station, welcome my people, welcome my silent listeners. I hope you're well. I hope you're feeling blessed at this amazing Thursday morning on your end. I know so many of you are just waking up. A person like Jiba Jaba, he might be at work because I've realized you guys work at night. But anyway, you work at the moment we are okay, these people, like, you just work when we are working. It's not different with us, but anyway, it is okay. It is okay. You know, in Kenya, I've seen this meme at never be asleep when the US is awake. Never be asleep when the US is awake. You know, it literally makes sense because these people are they set the tone for our markets. But at the end of the day, for borake unakula, as long as you're providing, as long as you're bringing something on the table, it is okay. But I see Jiba Jaba, you're saying it is 8 a.m. here, my sister. Karibu sana Jiba Jaba. I hope you are well today. But we shall get back to one more jump. We started off with an amazing drill done by Wakadinali. It is called Sikutambui. We're going back to one more jump. Then we will be back with our quote of the day. In case you have any quotes you'd love to share with us, if in case you have any wise words you love to share with us, feel generous enough, or rather kind enough, to share with us. We're going back to the music. I hope you get to jam onto this amazing Wakadinali song as well. Okay, where is this? I lost it, but let me get to find a new one. Okay, I lost it. Let me just put this Octopizo. The jam is a Sijawai. Sijawai.
Banana baby niko all over. Pale kwa dance from me I'm super bend over. 8 ball iko ndani. Game over. GK serikali. Me over. Chocha. Ati my Range Rover. Ati he what? Mini tomboy. You sing the island. I'm music trouble. 1990. Boy you're the singer. I'll be coca foreign minister. At age 19. Mtani honga vile walikuwa
Okay, today I have an African proverb for you, and it says that knowledge is like a garden. If it is not cultivated, it cannot be harvested.
najiamini, self-employed, najiajiri, na sijawahi tambua kwamba za naijami.
Tambua mamlena, sijawahi tambua mamlena.
Pesa mimi ukinitaka itabidi umetravel costo hadi Malindi nikadini kule Likoni ukirangenyani kisha mitandani yani ukutani costo mzima.
Yes, welcome back. That is Octopizo. The jam is Sijawai, and he's saying Sijawai tambua mamblena, and for a fact tufai kutambua mamblena. But anyway, welcome back. I hope you did get to jam onto it. I see Jibba Jabba is actually saying it is a good jam. Yes, thank you for jamming onto it. But let's get started with our show. To start with our show for today, straight to the matters of the day, without wasting much of your time. Today, I told you and I promised you we shall be discussing about Jomo Kenyatta, and he is a traitor. You know that. We know that Jomo Kenyatta was a traitor, and he is a traitor wherever he is, even is in his grave. But what am I talking about? Remember, there was this narrative of the Maumau fighters, and then there were people collaborating with the British, and there were people now opposing the British people in our country, that is in the 254, rather Kenya. And yes, we had now the first president of Kenya, that is Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. He was one of we can say with what I was taught in school. I was taught that Jomo Kenyatta was a Mau fighter, and he was one of the freedom fighters that we have in Kenya. But if you now go deeper down in the history, you'd even see that he helped to kill the other freedom fighters. And yes, he was the key role of killing these people. Like, he participated in killing other freedom fighters. And why did he do this? Because he was a traitor. And why was he collaborating with the Europeans? I think he was promised something. But I have videos to share with you as we continue with our show for today, so that we can get deeper into our conversation, and also so that you can let me know what you think about the matter, and also keep it interactive with me. And remember, I told you we are live and interactive on our media handles. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, everywhere at Black Hot Fire Network. So kindly get to interact with me. Do let me know what you think about the matter. And yes, we get to continue with our show for today. So the first video is this one. This is a video done by Martin Gatia. Let me share it on both ends. Mhm. Is StreamYard misbehaving? But anyway, let me go back and share the video.
Walikuwa na kuva njaa, Masai Samburu wanakuva njaa, muogo kama chido.
I think I shared the wrong video. And then I'm wondering what this man is talking about. I'm sorry about that. I'm back. Yes, I realized that there was no sound, and also, yes, let me get to share the video. Mhm.
Him, the white men women made sure to carry their guns at all times, for no one knew the moment thousand times. sure to carry their guns at all times. For no one knew the moment and the time when he would suddenly spring from the air like a ghost and exactly
Can you hear me? Kindly let me know, you guys, if you can hear me. I don't know what is happening. I think StreamYard is acting up. I don't understand why you can't hear me. But let me know if you can hear me. But I see Jiba Java, you're asking what the banging is. Joby doing some carpentry. Where? How did you hear the banging? I keep on telling you, you're very nosy. You're very nosy. But can you hear me? Oh, Jiba Jaba is saying he can hear me. Can you see my screen? I skip. Guys, can you hear my video? Because I'm wondering what's wrong with the StreamYard. Jiba Jaba, I'm not asking if you can see me. I can see myself as well, but can you hear my video? I don't know what is happening with StreamYard. Oh. Yes, can you hear my video? Because I'm wondering what. StreamYard.
Musa Mariama. And this is his story. A tragedy that needs. Mariama was a courageous leader of the Maumau
Anyway, I think we'll just have to move on. I'll share this video on the WhatsApp chat. StreamYard has said no more video sharing. It has videoed out like a general mosquito. But anyway, anyway. Yes, we are talking about Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. What did Mzee Jomo Kenyatta do? And we're talking about betrayal in the Maumau And Jiba Jaba is saying the video is choppy without sound. I'm sorry about that. Let me just talk. Let me just talk because, yes, StreamYard has refused that thing. It has said no video sharing. But anyway, what I'm talking about is Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. And on this video, I really wanted to share this. It is talking about Field Marshal. We also have Musa Mwariama. And uh this was a this was a hero. He was he was one of the biggest people, or rather he was one of the strongest Mau fighters that were there. And he was not hurt in any way by the British, because he was a strong fighter. He used to fight. And one day, I don't know what happened. They either collided, but he was assassinated. He was killed by Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. And this is what I really wanted to share with you. But unfortunately, the video is not working. It is not working. But it is not working. I don't understand why you're asking that. But I see Jiba Jaba is saying the Mau Mau, were the Mau Mau the chosen rebels to uproot the British, like the Bolsheviks. Were chosen by the elites to topple Russia. I don't think the Mau Mau were chosen. Mau Mau was a strong group. It was a big group that came, and now it was an opposing power of the it was African people, the Kenyan people, opposing the British, their existence in Kenya. So what happened is, now we had this Mau Mau. The narrative that is passed in these history books that we read in school is that Mau Mau was a group, or rather was a freedom fighting group that belonged to this community, the Kikuyu community. And what is known is that now it was only constituted by the Kikuyu people. But I came to learn that the Mau Mau were not actually Kikuyu people. They were not only Kikuyu people. Mau Mau was a group of Kenyans who felt like these British should not be in our country. And now it was a group of freedom fighters. But now in this group of freedom fighters, we had a person by the name Jomo Kenyatta. We all know Jomo Kenyatta because he was the past president of Kenya. And the biggest question is, because we had so many people in that group, what happened that now Kenyatta had to become the first president of Kenya? Of course, he collaborated with the British. That is the history we are never taught, or rather, we are not told. We are not told. But I see Jiba Jaba, you're saying a sound is back. A video is choppy. I can hear you well. Okay, and also you're asking what? Okay, you're asking how can a Kenyan worship a Mzungu after hearing that history and seeing those photos of Kenyans being abused? I don't know. People are just dumb. I I don't know. People are just dumb. But do remember, there's the self hate. We were taught to hate ourselves. We've been taught to hate ourselves, and we've been taught now to love them Zungu. So when you tell them these people are just not, they don't deserve your love, and the Mzungu deserves your love, people are just dumb out here. They will believe that. Anyway, we've seen pastors farting on people's faces. We've seen pastors sucking people's titties. You know, so it is just crazy. If you want to see what are crazy things people can believe in, there are so many crazy things that people believe in. But anyway, keep on interacting with me. I was talking about Mzee Jomo Kenyatta and how he assassinated these Mau Mau fighters. video because my content was based on that video. I really wanted to talk about what is in that video, so there's no way I'll get to talk about it without the video. But what it basically, or rather generally, is we know that Jomo Kenyatta was never a freedom fighter. He was busy selling out our people while they were busy plotting about how they are going to attack. He was the one going now to sell them off. He was sending that information to the British, telling them, they are planning to attack your territory here, so go and attack them this way. So it is crazy that he is labeled up to date a freedom fighter, but people, the fewer at the we have few people believing that Jomo Kenyatta was a traitor. Jomo Kenyatta was a sellout, and he was a sellout. He was a coon. He used to sell out our people because how did he get to become the first president of Kenya? It is okay. It is questionable how he got to become the first president of Kenya. And remember, immediately now he got that seat. What did he do? He did a lot of crazy things to like he even puts now people who are not of his community to some places that they were considered that time bad, or rather poor places to be living in. He just excluded people from his community to from other different communities. Like, he put the Meru on this side. He told the Kikuyus, have these lands. Yes, he gave lands. He gave huge pieces of land to the Kikuyu people. And now what does that show you? It shows you that this person is not a leader. And it shows you that now this person was just put there, just like what we see up to date. These people, they are just put in power, and this is why they get to rule in anyhow they want, in any way they want. They feel like, oh, today I'm waking up, I'm rising the cost of fuel. Yes, I'm gonna do that. It is crazy. But I see Jiba Jaba is saying, like Castro in Cuba being a CIA asset, becoming their first president. Yes, like that. It is a good example, by the way. That is a good comparison, because you'd want, some things are just, they just don't add up. They are very questionable. How did this man become the first president of Kenya? Because the British, we know that very well, that the British never left. They never fully left Africa. They never fully left Kenya. But how did this person become the president of Kenya? It is questionable, and the real history should be put out there, people to know. These are persons that are never worth our honor. They are never worth our honor, because how are we celebrating a person, calling them a freedom fighter, while he was busy selling out our great grandfathers, while he was busy selling out the real freedom fighters? He was not a freedom fighter, he was a sellout. But anyway, away from that, let's get to other news and updates, because I'll get to share that video on the WhatsApp chat. And if you feel like I forgot, please remind me, but I will not forget. I'll get to share that video as we continue with our day to day. I'll make sure I've not forgotten. And I had mentioned about Namibia. Okay, I said Zambia. I'm sorry about that. It was Namibia. Namibia is selling 40 crocodiles to reduce conflict. And I'm wondering, how does crocodiles bring conflict in your country? And Namibia has put 40 crocodiles up for sale to reduce conflicts between humans and wildlife in the northern eastern regions of Kavango and Zambezi, local media reported. And I'm wondering, okay, if you do your work correctly, how will these animals get involved in conflict with human beings? It doesn't make sense, because I believe that these crocodiles, they're supposed to be taken care of. They're supposed to be put somewhere. And it doesn't make sense for me how these people now feel even authoritative to sell animals. Remember, there was this day we had that the Kenyan government is selling bamboo, what was the bamboo trees. To which country was it? Was it Canada? They were exporting trees. and bringing grasses. Imagine, they import and bring grass, and it doesn't make sense for me. Now, where are they selling these crocodiles? And what you know, these things doesn't even make sense at all. But what is happening is that those interested in buying the reptiles are expected to submit their tender offers at the Ministry of Environment by July 17th. The ministry spokesperson Romeo Muyunda said majority of the country's wildlife exists outside the national parks, which had made the regions uh, which had made the regions continue to experience concerning crocodile attacks on people and lives on their livestock. But how will they affect them? How will they affect the livestock if you put them where they belong? If you put them in their place? You know, I don't understand how a crocodile will move from a place, from an enclosed place, to a person's home. For me, it doesn't make sense. This government is just looking for a way to start now exporting their own animals. And we will get to a point that they are selling baboons, they are selling monkeys, they are selling elephants, and Africa will be left without any animals. Because remember this, such animals are our tourist attractions. So what are they doing right now? They are selling them. Why are they selling them? They are selling them to who? They have said anyone interested. Who, and the next moment you'll hear it was a Mzungu who bought this. This was taken to a certain country. It was taken in the US. It was taken in Canada, in Germany. Somebody from Germany was interested. You know, it doesn't make sense for me. And buyers must prove that they have a suitable habitat for the animals and will incur the cost of capturing them. And those seeking to import them must have a permit from a respective country. So they're just looking forward to export those animals. They are just looking forward to export crocodiles. By the way, guys, have you ever heard that crocodiles are edible? Have you ever eaten crocodiles? Have you ever eaten crocodiles? Yes, I've heard that crocodiles are edible, and I know they are edible, but hey, I don't know if I can eat that. I don't know. Let me just not say I can eat or I can't. I don't know, because I just need to see how it looks when it cooked. Hey. But anyway, I see Juba Java is saying we need those crocodiles in Rio Grande to help stop those illegals. Okay, come and buy one from Namibia then. If you really need them, come and get them from Namibia. Namibia is are selling them at a cheaper price, I bet. Very cheap. I bet they actually shouldn't be selling them. If they just want to get rid of the crocodiles, they should be giving them out to people who are able to keep them. But what is happening? It is just crazy. Why are they selling them? Those are just creatures that existed. They found them there, and now they want to monetize them. It doesn't make sense for me at all. But moving on to other news and updates, it is about Kenya and this cult. You know, it has been made like an African thing right now, and I had Joby talking about this. And yesterday I mentioned about people in Ethiopia. These are Ugandans who went to Ethiopia to starve themselves so that they get to see Jesus. So it has been made an African thing. And right now, what you'll see even in BBC News, what you'll see even in other news sites, it is the African cult of starving people, or rather the African cult. You know, they are just putting it like it is an African cult. But who are responsible for this? Of course, we are responsible as African, but also I feel like yes, there's somebody else to blame on this, because we just didn't wake up and believe that Jesus existed. It was something that was brought to us. So if they want to include now the narrative of seeing Jesus, they should include themselves. They are the ones who brought this narrative to Africans, because we never had people talking about Jesus in so many centuries ago. They were the ones who brought this narrative. But what is happening is that now Pastor Mackenzie has been put in court today, and he has okay, we are sorry, not even Pastor Mackenzie, it is the cult members. These were people who are rescued, and they now today they were put in front of a court, or rather in front of a prosecutor, and they were judged. It is, man, I just don't understand people. These people were rescued, they were rescued from graveyards. Some were even exhumed, they were nearly dying. But then when they were rescued, they were saying that we will not eat. We will not eat. We want to die and go and see Jesus. It doesn't make sense for me. But the 65 members of the Kenyan Doomsday cult who are rescued from the Shakahola forest are appearing in court to face charges of attempting suicide. In Kenya, attempting suicide is illegal. Likewise, aiding suicide, failing to take action to stop or not reporting the offense is also punishable by life imprisonment. In April, the police began to exhume bodies from shallow graves in remote forests. So far, 318 people linked to the cult are known to have died, and 613 are still missing. Self-proclaimed Pastor Paul Mackenzie from the Good News International Church is accused of encouraging people to fast to death, which he denies. 16 cult members who are in police custody are being on a hunger strike since have been on a hunger strike since 4th of June. State prosecutors are now seeking to have the accused members separated, held in prisons, and subjected to forced feeding. I don't think even they deserve all this. Let them die. If they want to die, you just let them die, because you can stop the madness in them. You can fight the madness in them. I feel like, yes, you cannot fight the madness in them. It is deep. Imagine you have been rescued from a graveyard and you still saying that I don't want to eat. Even though the state is seeking to have the accused members forcibly fed, the police stations where they are being held do not have the capacity in terms of space, food, and medical facilities. Of course, in our jails and prisons, we don't have even enough places for those people to sleep. But at the end of the day, I feel like these people should be left to die. Should be left without being fed, because this is what they want. They want to die. Let them die. Let them die because of hunger, and then let them go and meet Jesus. I hope they reincarnate without being stupid, just like they are right now. I hope they reincarnate with a lot of wisdom, because if they are going to come back with the same mentality, we are not going anywhere as Africans. It is crazy. It is crazy that this cult it has been given a name, and it has been made an African thing. Everybody is talking about the doomsday cult of Africa. The doomsday cult that is being practiced in Africa. Remember, we've seen this in Tanzania, we've seen this in Uganda, we've seen this in Zambia. We remember there was this Zimbabwean pastor also who went to fast and he died. He fasted. He was trying to fast for 40 days and he died. So it is crazy. It is crazy. I don't think that those people should even be facing charges. They should be put somewhere, quarantined from others, and be left to die. That is what they want. They should be left to die. But I see Jiba Jaba, you're saying, I just pulled up their website. There is a Mzungu on their front page preaching to a crowd of African. Yes, that is what I'm saying. If they associate this cult with us, because these people want to die and go see Jesus, this narrative of seeing Jesus and this thing of I want to be with Jesus, it was never an African thing. You wouldn't hear anybody saying that I want to meet Jesus until the white man came to Africa and introduced us to Jesus, and we started believing in Jesus. So if they are to blame us, let them not call this cult an African thing. It is okay. Right now it has been given a name, the Doomsday Cult. It is just crazy. Just crazy. Very crazy. But away from that, let's get away from that. I seen in Nigeria yesterday, I forgot to talk about this. I had prepared to talk about this yesterday. And we had so many people in a boat that were traveling for a wedding in Nigeria, and the boat capsized, and we lost about 103 people, and we have also so many bodies still missing. So but I wonder how do, like, anyway, how do people just board 100 and in one boat? Residents and police were still searching for dozens of people who are on the overcrowded boat that capsized early Monday on the Niger River in the Pategi district of Kwara State, which is 160 kilometers from Ilorin, the state's capital, according to the police spokesperson Okasanme Ajayi. He said 100 people had been rescued so far, and most of those who drowned were relatives from several villages who attended the wedding together and partied late into the night, according to Abdul Ghana, a local chief. They arrived the ceremony on motorcycles, but they had to leave on the locally made a boat after a downpour flooded the road, he said. The boat was overloaded to close 300 persons. Imagine 300 people in one boat. The boat was overloaded and close to 300 persons were in it, while 300 coming, the boat hit a big long inside the water and split into two, said Lukapta. And the wedding was held in the village where Igboti in the neighboring state of Niger State, said Usman Ibrahim, a resident, because the accident happened at 3 a.m. It was hours before many people knew what had happened, he said. And as the passengers drowned, villagers nearby rushed to the scene and managed to rescue about 50 at first, describing early efforts to rescue the passengers. As of Tuesday afternoon, officials and locals were still searching for more bodies in the river, which one of the Nigeria's largest. And police spokesperson Ajayi said the rescue operation would continue through the night until Wednesday. It is crazy that now we're losing people every day. We're losing African people every day, but it is because of their ignorance. Because you'd not tell me that you just bought a boat, 300 of you, and you see this is a locally made boat. It is not a big boat, but you decide to board. I feel like this is ignorant. It is ignorant, but again, I send my condolences to the family of the bereaved. I hope they find peace during these hard moments. But that was because of ignorance at the end of the day. It is just like now you have a car and you decide to overspeed, then you get an accident and die. But you are the one who are ignorant. You wanted to die anyway. I did not say anybody wanted to die. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, moving on to other news and updates. I've seen that Eritrea has joined IGAD. And this is the East African Trade and Security Bloc. It has not been it has been not in the trade union, or rather the trade region, for 16 years. I don't know what convinced Eritrea to join the IGAD after 16 years. But Eritrea says it is ready to work toward peace, stability, and regional integration after it rejoined the East African Bloc at the Intergovernmental Authority on Development on Monday. But do you think that these trade blocs are of any good to us? Of course, they are not. And I felt like, yes, Eritrea, you need to stay out of this nonsense. But unfortunately, it has gotten to a time that they were bought. They were all bought, and they decided, yes, we're going to IGAD. We're going to join IGAD, and it comes nearly 16 years after the politically isolated state pulled out of the bloc. Information Minister Yamane MSK said Eritrea resumed its activity in IGAD and took its seat at a summit organized by seven nation bloc in Djibouti on Monday. I feel like it is a lot of madness, because the more you're in these organizations, the more it is easier for you to be controlled in those groups, or rather in those trade blocks. Because at the end of the day, these blocks are not made for you to trade. They are not made for you to trade easier with the other nations, or rather with the neighboring nations. They are made for you to be controlled more easily. They are made for you to be now controlled. And Africans don't realize this. We are so much ignorant that we don't realize that we are being put in one organization so that it will be very easy for us to be controlled. It is just like establishing, or rather creating, a WhatsApp group, and you put all Africans together so that all you need to control them is one WhatsApp message. You write to them, and everybody sees the message, and they go by your word. But they don't see all this. It is crazy and sad about that. It is very, very crazy. But I wonder what now will happen that Eritrea has joined. It will still be controlled. They will still now be gaining control over us every day, every day, every day. Remember, I was talking about Africans, how we are struggling. Now we are about to get to struggle and scramble for independence again. They are about to overtake Africa again. And we have African countries giving themselves to these Wazungus all the time, giving themselves to all these colonizers all the time, of which is very sad. Anyway, what can we do? I think the only thing we can do to rescue African nations is a revolution. But now who is this going? Who is now what? We need a revolution, okay? But who is going to fight these people? And Africa will never. They will never give up on Africa without a war. Not a simple war, a big war. They will never give up Africa without a war. So we will have to go to a war. Who is willing to go to a war? Right now, go and ask the youths. Are you ready for a revolution? They are not even aware what a revolution is, what you're asking them. It was on Tuesday we were asking them about the African courts. Actually, not even to be surprised, because nobody was aware of the African court. They all said, no, we don't know the African court. What is the African court? Is there an African court? Is it supposed to be built in Africa, or what does it mean to have an African court? Because they don't understand. They even don't know that there was this court that was supposed to be built and called the African court. They all acted surprised, because they were surprised. But I keep on saying that it is until now we realize what we are fighting, and we call up for a revolution. And this will not go in an easier way. It has to go in the hardest way. They will never give up Africa without a war. They will never. So it is high time we start even equipping ourselves with the tools to go to a war, with knives, machetes, because at the end of the day, we can't keep on singing about a revolution of which we are not ready for. Yeah, I know not so many people are ready for a revolution, but it is time we get ready. We cannot be giving up on our countries like this. We cannot be giving up on our resources like this. It is time we start fighting for what is rightful ours. It is time we say no, enough is enough. You have taken much of our properties, but it is time for you to give it back. You remember the crowning of King Charles. You remember was it a hat or a crown? It had so many bronzes, and these bronzes are from Africa. And he feels so entitled even to be crowned in Africa with our bronze. Yet we're still talking about revolution right here. It is high time we tell them, man, give those things that are ours back and you leave our countries. But if you don't want that, let's fight. Yes, we can fight. Let's fight. Because they will never, never, never give up on Africa. They will never. But anyway, as Sijiba Jaba is saying, when a tribe is your only concern, international affairs topic are not known or thought of. Very true. I get to agree with you 100%, because everybody is thinking about how Kikuyu they are, how Luo they are, how Luya they are. They don't even know what is happening globally. They don't know what is happening right now. Everybody is talking about the finance bill, of which it has been passed 176 MPs okayed it, while we had 81 parliamentarians saying no to it. Imagine, to a point that we have gotten to a financial year of 4 trillion Kenyan shillings. But we have parliamentarians who are bought, and they just said it is okay. It is okay to oppress these people that put us in these seats. It is crazy. I feel like now we were complaining about how life is expensive right here in the 254, but we are about to feel the heat. It is about to get hotter and hotter. We are about to feel the heat. It's like they are adding firewood to the fire. Yeah, we are about to feel the heat. It is getting hotter and hotter. But anyway, I see General Mosquito, you came in too late, because I am coming to the end of my show today. Asanteni sana for being with us on today's episode. Jiba Jaba, Ki, the General Mosquito, and to the rest of the silent listeners, Asanteni sana manze. I hope you have been enjoying the show. I'm sorry about the first part of our show. I really wanted to share that video, but I'll get to share it on the WhatsApp chat. Kwaherini, hope you get to enjoy the rest part of the day. See you tomorrow early in the morning on the Vibe Show. I'm leaving you. Today is on Thursday. Yes. See you tomorrow. Of course, we shall not be having word of the street. Shmani is not well. She's not feeling well. Quick recovery to her, but I hope to see you tomorrow early in the morning. But I see John Mosquito is saying, Jiba Jaba, I see you've added 100. Okay, 809 to your name. Is that your door number? Lol. General Mosquito, you joke a lot. You want to go to Jibajaba's home?
The Black Hot Fire Radio, and you're listening to the African Diary Show.
General Mosquito is asking, Kitty, what you mean you finished? Yes, it has been an hour already. Brother, stay woke. It's been an hour already. And also, Jiba Jaba, you're saying that's my IQ. 809. Okay. Kwaherini though. Yes, don't forget to join HR and Kamlesh on the Black Kings frequency. They will be back in a few. They will be back in a few.